Hey guys, this is Cam15 and I'm back at it with another video for you guys. And this is another Stargirl Season 1 review. Man, today is a good day. Today is a good day. You know, Stargirl was tonight and it had an amazing episode. And the Angels, who I actually just got done watching right now, won today. And Seattle lost, which we beat them today. Texas lost. Oakland lost. And then the Cheaters lost as well. So, yeah. Hopefully the Angels can keep it up in terms of, getting more wins. Yes, I'm an Angels fan. Anyways, we're here not to talk about Angels. We're here to talk about Stargirl. Now, Stargirl episode 11. This episode was crazy. Very emotional. A very emotional episode. But this episode was what the next two episodes are going to be. Man, it's going to be crazy. So, anyways, the episode starts off with Justin the janitor. He's essentially looking for like a steed or a white horse, essentially, from what I got. And this one farmer's like, yo, get the hell out of here before I end up calling the cops on your ass. And, he's just looking at this, like, I guess you can say little windmill thing. And it reminds him of the cosmic staff. Then he sees, you know, something that reminds him of Pat. And we can see that this dude obviously looks like he has amnesia and he can't remember some things. But Pat, in his remembrance of his memories, are like, come find me. So he's looking for Pat. Now, when the episode comes back from the little Stargirl logo thing, as we also see, Courtney's dad come in on the bus. We see that Barbara is like, well, since everything's happening and since they killed the kid, since they killed Henry, let's call the cops. And Pat's like, we can't do that. And then, but Barbara's like, then why not the government? And Pat's like, we can't do that because of fear of them knowing and stuff like that. Because obviously the government, if you do that to the government's like, okay, then how'd you get your information? You'd have to tell them like, well, you said you were superheroes and stuff like that. So yeah, which honestly would be the smart thing to do. If they had normal powers, yes, go ahead, tell the cops all together or the government. But these guys are superhumans, so yeah, no. Barbara's still under, getting more accumulated to this whole superhero business and stuff like that. The next thing you know, Mike comes downstairs and like, yeah, there's some guy at the front door. And next thing you know, we see Sam Curtis, who is the father of Courtney. But Courtney, when she sees this, is like, that's not my dad. And she doesn't believe it. And Barbara's like, yeah, that's your dad. That's your that's your blood related father and stuff like that. Now, he came because sorry for that interruption. I'll make sure to turn my ringer off. Um, Now we find out he came because obviously the email Barbara sent him, and then he also says, well, he was worried that something bad was happening, and he was planning to take them, I guess, back to LA. Now, like I said, Courtney still doesn't believe him or anything, but in the moment he pulls up the same locket, like Courtney, um, you know, that's when she kind of knows, like, shit, this guy really is my father. Although she can't believe it, like she even goes upstairs to talk to, you know, Pat a bit, and he's like, this guy is my dad, but and stuff like that. Now Barbara and Sam have a little talk in the living room, and he's like, look, I just came back because I wanted to know Courtney, and later on, he's walking her to school, and Sam just remembers, like, you remember the time when we were singing Christmas carols and stuff like that, and Courtney remembers that. He offers to take her to breakfast. She just accepts his offer and stuff like that. So, anyways, we cut back to the garage where it's just Pat, Rick, and Beth. Pat asks, "Where's Yolanda?" And the Beth's like, "Oh, she went to church too, obviously with the Henry situation and stuff like that. Then janitor Justin shows up, and all of a sudden, he starts freaking out. He thinks the three are Dragon King and his little drones or druids, and essentially Pat eventually calms him down and stuff like that. So yeah. So then we cut to Brainwave and Jordan, our icicle, and Brainwave just says, "Look, look. Uh, Stargirl, she's Courtney Whitmore, and you know, uh, Stripes, yeah, her little sidekick, Starman sidekick, is Pat Dugan. So, yeah, um, wow, I was shocked, and you could see, and Isaac was like, he gave that face like, you gotta be kidding me. So, you know, Brain was look, I'm going over there to kill him, and Asuka's like, no, you're not. And the reason why he's doing this, obviously, because of Barbara. I also think he's also doing this too, because his son Cameron likes Courtney, which I guess you can say by the time he makes up his mind, I'm like, your son's gonna be very pissed if he finds out everything. So yeah. Um. So, anyways, Brainwave tells him like, look, you need to make a decision regardless, otherwise I'm gonna take things into my own hands. So he's kind of throwing the ultimatum that Brainwave would always do to his teammates. So, anyways, Justin, Bat tells him how Justin was the Shining Knight and how he got the sword. We find out he got the sword from King Arthur, and it's also implied too here that he came from the far, far past. So yeah. Then the reason how he got to Blue Valley is because obviously he's talking about dragons, reference to he was following Dragon King. So that's why he's in Blue Valley and stuff like that. Now, Sam, when we get back to what him and Courtney are doing, by the time they get to their house, he tells like about all these things he wants to do with Courtney and stuff like that. And he goes on, and then eventually Courtney gives him her locket, and then the dude just dips, like literally just dips, like he leaves. He straight up leaves. Doesn't say goodbye to Barbara. Doesn't say goodbye to the family. Doesn't even really say a really respectful way to say goodbye to your daughter. He was like, well, deuces, I'm out. Catch you later. And I was like, wow. So great act. And then the next scene, which is phenomenal acting and great acting by Breck Bessinger. Um, it got me to the point where I almost freaking cried. Like, my God, I feel for this girl. You get revelations about your dad and everything, and then the whole turmoil with Henry dying and stuff like that. Um, yeah, and then she's just going through these mix of emotions, and then and stuff like that, and then have this really emotional hug um, between her and Pat, which is essentially Pat just like, or her essentially saying like, "You're my father now," you know, you know, you're my dad, which is what I got out of it, and it was a really cute moment between the two, and it was really heartfelt because, you could see that she was like freaking torn, and you could see Pat. He looked like because Pat was like, "Look, if you want to yell at me, just go ahead and yell at me." But she didn't. They have this nice embraceful moment, and then my dude Pat. Can I just say, Pat for best stepdad ever? This man tracks down freaking Sam Curtis, and he's like, "Look, man, I want you to stay away from this family. Like, don't come back to Blue Valley. Don't talk to Courtney or Barbara ever again." And stuff like that. And then, Sam, he's like, man, whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, look, I know you're being the bigger man and you want to be the dad and stuff like that, but whatever. And then there's this backhanded comment about Barbara saying, man, she still looked better. She looked good. She looked better when I was dating her and stuff like that, or when I was with her. And then what Pat did, when I heard that, I was like, all right, okay. I was like, Pat did what he needed to do. It felt good when Pat punched that dude and knocked him on his ass, bro. He knocked Sam on his ass. And I was like, thank God, because that guy really needed to get his ass beat. He really needed to get knocked down because this dude literally just showed up out of nowhere. Didn't even alert Barbara or Courtney. Just shows up and like, oh, yada yada yada. So he wants to do all this stuff with Courtney and stuff like that and get to know Courtney. And then by the time we get to the halfway point of the episode, he's like, deuces, I'm out. And I'm like, didn't you say you wanted to do all these things with your daughter? Seems like you really never cared to begin with. So, you know, you can tell he was a deadbeat dad and he was a deadbeat person from the beginning. And honestly, I almost did the middle finger, but honestly, F you, Sam Curtis. That dude is a whole, you know what? F him, bro. That dude was like literally F him to do all that and say all that, and then the next thing you know, when he goes to leave Blue Valley, he's like, deuces, I'm out. Doesn't even alert anybody. He just dips. Like, bro, come on, dude. Like, at least be a better freaking dad, long distance dad who actually is actually there, and stuff like that. So after this, Courtney goes down to the basement, and the staff just doesn't work anymore. The staff's not lighting up and stuff like this, and Barbara's down there with her, and she's like, "Look, I'm just going to school, and I'm ready just to leave and get up out of here and stuff like that." So then, obviously, we comes back to what Icicle's doing. And Icicle, obviously, he still can't believe that Barbara, would be in all this situation and stuff like that, and things like that. Um, you know, it, and the next thing you know, this dude, whoo, man, talk about sleazeballs, man. Icicle, Jordan, whatever you want to call him, he is a sleazeball. This dude goes into his work, essentially his employee's office, essentially gets into the history and finds out that Barbara was looking up um, information about Starman, and then he just stands back like, he's like, mother effer, I can't believe she's in on this too. And he's like, and this is when he's like, fuck it. He's literally like, F it, she needs to die, because that's what he says by the end of the episode too, um, and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, and then we get this really freaking tense scene when they're at the school honoring Henry King Jr.'s death and stuff like that. And the next thing you know, talk about a middle finger, man, to Courtney, Beth, and Yolanda and Rick, man. That was a straight up middle finger. When they have brainwaves show up amongst the students, and this dude is talking on behalf of his son in passing. And next thing you know, he reads into Courtney's mind. He's like, I remember who you are, and I'm gonna kill you. So yeah, so this freaks Courtney out. She runs back. She tries to have the staff, but the staff still ain't working. And Pat kind of just says, "Look, maybe look, the staff never worked for you because you were Starman's daughter. Because obviously you are not. You're not related to him at all." So we get the confirmation here in this episode that Starman and Courtney are definitely not related. I thought they would make it they'd find it somehow that they're actually related, but no. She was totally born from another person, and Pat just goes on to the point and says, "Look, the staff believed in you when you first used it. So I think you just need to believe in yourself again, and the power of the staff will come back to you." And stuff like that. So then after she calls Pat and Barbara in to watch her do all this, the staff lights up because she finally believes in herself again. Because you can see she had a lot of turmoil. This was actually, I guess you can say, one of the first times she actually freaking realized that, shoot, maybe this isn't, so working out for me, when it's like, oh dang, it takes you like, man, till your second death to finally realize that, yeah, this is more serious than it is. Which, I'm not trying to make fun of this and fun of her character, but I've just been saying her character up to this point was bad because she kept doing things and rushing into things and stuff like that. Now she finally realized, okay, uh, maybe I was in over my head a bit, and now hopefully she's much smarter than this and stuff like that. Now the end credit scene is essentially Icicle going, like I said, down and talking to Brainwave, and he's like, "We're gonna get rid of them." He's like, "They have a son, Mike. Um, get him too." And Brainwave's like, "Okay, sure." And then we find out that there are 12 hours left till Project New America, I guess, is released. And actually, before I even end the video off, there was a mic scene between Mike and Pat, and this was in the part when Pat and Courtney were talking in her room, and Mike just brought us in. He's like, "Yo, What the hell's going on?" He's just saying like, "What the hell's going on? Like, anybody gonna tell me anything? What's going on?" And to the point where Pat just lashes out at him. He's like, "Mike, this is not your business. This is something that is way over your head. And you don't need to worry about it. Just move on, and it's gonna be fine." And stuff like that. So you can clearly see that Mike is he feels like he's completely being left out, which he is being left out, and he's gonna find out somehow. He's gonna find out somehow, and then he's gonna resent the three, Barbara, Pat, and Courtney for it, or he'll be like and stuff like, or maybe he'll be the more understanding, son, and be like, okay, now I understand why you guys. But then again, it wouldn't put me past him if he would get upset at all three of them and stuff like that. They're definitely like teasing this Mike storyline when he's gonna find out. He'll definitely find out if not by next week, because apparently the Injustice Society is gonna raid their house. Or he's gonna find out by the season finale. How he takes it, I have no idea. Yeah, they really been playing up, in the recent weeks of Mike, finding out this information of the secret identities of Courtney and Pat, and then now that Barbara's in on it too. So I guess by the time they find out, they're gonna be like the super family. So yeah, also another thing I got found out is like, well, these guys, the Injustice Society needs to die. Like, I'm sorry, these characters need to die because now they know the secret identities. Oh, they're screwed. They need to die. Yeah. Next week seems like it's gonna be interesting. Seems like Courtney's gonna get freaking ganged on in her house. So yeah, that plan for leaving Blue Valley, yeah, that ain't gonna work, man. Yeah, they're gonna get attacked, and it seems like next episode's only gonna get freaking crazier because Project New America's on the horizon, and they're gonna have to stop him, the Injustice Society. Um, yeah, this episode was really good. Like I said, it's one of the best episodes of this season. Like, to be honest, I did not see one negative episode this season. Like, this season has been great. Yeah. Other than that, guys, it was a good episode. I like the acting, job, and performance. Breck Bassinger killed it tonight. I know she's not watching this video or checking this video out, but let me just say, you killed it today, my friend. You killed it today. So my hats off to you. Yeah. Other than that, that's really it, and I can't wait for next week. The season's winding down, and we only got 2 more episodes left of this season, and then boom, we'll have to wait for season 2. So other than that, guys, this has been Cam for 15. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this episode, as well as hit that subscribe button to get more Stargirl content. So till then, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there, and hopefully you guys are having a great rest of your night. So till then, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.